This is what R2-D2 is meant to look like, and this is what mine looks like. But bear with me. Hello everyone, I would like to finally welcome you all to the third episode of the Kenner Collection. It has been a while. Let's hop straight into this one and open him up. Opening up a package with a Star Wars figure inside is never not going to be fun for me. The feeling inside my chest right now is just unique. It's the best part. I love it. Oh, and if you see this, absolutely no need to panic. I know a lot of you have probably reached for your phone and you're calling me an ambulance. Basically, I met a dog today. It was a black lab called Lucky. It jumped up all excited and said hello to me and nearly took my arm off. They had to stitch my arm back on. But yeah, lovely little doggo, apart from the fact it nearly took my arm off. Now, I would usually give a bit of a backstory about the character when unpacking it, but I mean, what could I possibly tell you about R2-D2 that you didn't already know? There's no sweeter sign. Look at it wrapped up in the bubble wrap in there. Oh, there it is. I've really got to stop whistling Star Wars toys before I get looked up, but but this makes me so happy. Shall we take a look at the figure before I talk about him? So, starting with the condition. It isn't the most desirable condition for a figure to be in. However, it is desirable to me, and I will go into that a little bit later. We have got the lovely chrome head and the sensor scope, which I believe comes out still. It does. And I think, yep, don't know if you can hear that, but the head clicks, which is incredibly satisfying. We've got a bit of wear on the sticker, just a little bit, but not much. Same on the back. Again, it's almost in perfect condition. He does need a little bit of a clean, which I will get great satisfaction from doing. And then we do have the date on the bottom, which I'm not sure you're going to be able to see, but made in Hong Kong and 1977 is the date. The date we all know and love. It's where our lives changed. Not mine, I wasn't born yet, but where lots of people's lives changed. Where's your face gone, mate? Oh, I was looking at your backside. I'm so sorry. Right, some of you might be a little bit confused. This is what R2-D2 is meant to look like, and this is what mine looks like. But bear with me. So for me personally, there is more to toys than just having it look as immaculate as it possibly can. It really doesn't have to be in pristine condition for it to catch my eye. Although obviously that can be amazing too, and I'm just like anyone else. I'll sit on my bed or on my sofa with an Ewok or another figure in my hand and just admire how amazing it looks. But sometimes I'm just not looking to collect the most pristine looking figure. I don't always want it to look immaculate, as great as that is. Sometimes I'll get drawn to something else, something that looks like this, something that looks like it's had a history, a backstory, and just been through a hell of a lot of things in the galaxy before it's gotten into my hands. This, to me, when I was flicking through eBay, stood out for obvious reasons. Like I said a second ago, this figure really looked like it had been on one hell of a journey before it made its way into my possession today. And you know what? This is going to sound crazy, and you're all going to probably take the mick out of me for this. I nearly swore there. But I actually felt sorry for it. I was flicking through eBay and you had all these pristine droids that looked incredible, just in the best condition. And then I came across this guy and it just had so much character and had such a personality that I just couldn't flick past it. I thought to myself, what if no one buys it? What if no one wants to own it? All around me are familiar faces. I want to be that person. I want to be the one who gives it its forever home and just looks after it like its previous owner clearly did.
What?
And I know what you're thinking. I don't think they looked after it, Ez. I read this as a very well played with toy. Someone loved this, or someone either loved this or they put it in a drawer and forgot about it for about 30 years. Either way, I'm going to pretend it's the first one. I'm going to pretend that this was played with time after time with someone, and that is why it's in this condition. I actually spoke to the seller Liam, who gave me a little bit of a backstory on this little guy. He said he picked him up from a car boot sale from what he thought was the original owner, who had owned him since new. So that's a really lovely thought, isn't it? Like, to think that I might potentially be the second ever owner of this figure in what, like 40 years? Obviously, with Liam in the middle, passing him to me. But knowing that information just makes me love this little guy even more. It just gives him more of a backstory and a history, and builds a connection from me to him, as crazy as that sounds. I really hope other people feel the way I do about toys, or I am going to look mental making this video. Again, being the weirdo that I am, I want to be the person that gives this R2 unit a new home, his new forever home. Basically, I'm treating him like some sort of rescue dog. I'm really going to look after him and just place him in different parts of the flat just so he feels loved and looked after. That feeling of getting a new toy, oh, it's just the best feeling ever. It never gets old. Well, until you get a new little toy, but don't listen to that, R2. This was never the plan, by the way. I didn't set out to buy a toy that looked like this. I didn't think to myself, do you know what? I'm going to go out and buy the most beaten up R2 droid I can possibly find. It's just the connection I felt when I saw the photos of it. I had to have it. I had to make it mine. Honestly, it was like it was calling to me.
It calls to you.
Thank you so much for watching. Has anyone noticed that I've been changing my hats throughout this entire video? Because if you haven't, then I am gutted. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I have had a lot of fun making it. I think with this series, it's really important that you know, if it's not already obvious, I know next to nothing about the original Kenner line. I don't know a thing. So if you're looking for someone who's super knowledgeable and knows his stuff about all the figures, I am certainly not that guy. This channel and the way I approach things has always been from a more emotional point of view. How I feel when I look at something, how I feel when I open and own something. Once I've finished this collection, I actually want to feel something towards it, which is why I opt to go for figures like this. Because of that backstory, because of the interactions I had with the seller. Thank you, Liam, by the way, for your messages. Like, you telling me a little bit of the backstory about this figure, like, it made my day, because again, I've grown more of a connection, I've grown more of an attachment towards it, and I'll always remember that. I'll always remember that I spoke to you and got that figure from you, and it just makes it, you know, like I said, more special to me. And really, from my point of view, that is more important than how pristine or immaculate something looks. Because when I look at all these figures at the end of this series and they're all lined up, this little guy here is going to stand out and we'll remember him. Which leads me on to my next thing. If you guys were me, what would you do with him? Would you put him through a little bit of a refurb? Would you buy him more stickers? Would you just leave him how he is? I'd be really interested to know, so let me know in the comments what you would do with this little guy. My initial thoughts are, I am going to leave him how he is. I think it's all part of his charm, and I'm not sure I want to change that, but please do let me know what you would do with him. Right, I'm going to stop rambling. Thank you all so much for watching, and may the force be with you.